my goodness me. I would just think, you bunch of wankers.
I admit I was having thoughts very much like that.
Oh, hello and welcome to the QUACKCAST. This is the Drunk Duck QUACKCASt. I am Ozone Ocean, and with me is Tanserine and Baines. Hello.
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 Pitt was with us, but she left because she had scrimmaging to do. Baines, is that right?
Yes.
A skirmish and a scrimmage, which I did not know meant pretty much the same thing. I was thinking scrimmage, scrimshaw, that's what you do on like whale's teeth or something, isn't it?
I don't do anything on whale's teeth, but no, I've never heard that.
You don't know scrimshaw? That's the art of like doing drawings on whale's teeth with a sharp knife, well, engraving. But yes, scrimmage.
Wow.
So, but we're not talking about scrimmaging this week, or scrimshaw, or skirmishing. We're talking about the Drunk Duck Awards and how to be a part of them if you want to be a part. Because this is for my benefit, because I always forget. Like, however many years this has been done on Drunk Duck, I have never really known how to get into the Drunk Duck Awards. It doesn't matter how many times people tell me, it just goes over my head. And I've even been a judge at one stage, or two, I can't remember, and it's so opaque to me. I don't understand. But it's a great community event. But before we get into that, we have to bring up the featured comic. Featured comic this week was something that I featured, and it was Freddy Reno went missing. Insurance investigator Mr. Donahue, aka Possum, has been tasked with finding the missing Freddy Reno. The deeper he digs, the more complicated the puzzle becomes. Everyone has a stake in Mr. Reno, and some of those stakes are pretty high. Just what exactly happened to Freddy and why? This is a story involving the international world of competitive fish breeding, organized crime, police corruption, feuds, spies, and murder. Who could guess the story of a pet shop owner could be this exciting? This is a retro detective story with a touch of noir and some great 70s, 80s and 90s visual styling. It's a comic with a very arty look, making use of heavily altered photos for backgrounds, thickly stylized figures and broad areas of undifferentiated colours. Freddy Reno Went Missing is a compelling and addictive piece of work. It's mature rated, not because of violence or sex. It's just an intelligent adult comic. Not adult as in sexy, just adult as in intelligence. So it's a good looking comic. Well, it's got an interesting look to it. It's quite retro, quite individual for the start. It takes a bit of getting used to, actually. But when you do get used to it, it sort of pays off because it's a very unified look all the way through the comic, and it really helps to set the scene of this retro 70s, 80s kind of feel for the whole thing. So I hope you enjoy it. Freddy Reno Went Missing. It's, rated M, and it's by a fellow called Or Give Me Death Ind. So like Or Give Me Death Industries. So have a look at it. And that was our feature. So thank you very much for listening to me talk about the featured comic. Alright, next up we have the featured music. Gumwillis hasn't given us a new theme this week, so I am reprising the theme to Freddy Reno Went Missing. So we have it not only a featured comic, but the musical theme as well. So you get to listen to that again, and you can apply that more easily to the comic if you have a look at it. So, this theme, Freddy, Reno went missing. A relaxing day in the warm sun at the beach. The smell of sunscreen on skin and the salt air tinged with a pungent hint of seaweed. This music rolls in like a pleasant breeze, washing away negativity with its easy, jazzy, calming sound. Sit back, sink into the warm white sands, and let them cushion you as the heat of the sun melts away your worries. Music. I hope you liked that. Okay, so now we're chatting about the Drunk Duck Awards. Interesting subject. So, Tance, you've recently done a news post about the awards, but not really about the awards, is it? It's about the attendant community event. That is...
yeah, it is the pre-event, if you like. I made a post about the red carpet, which is the pre-Drunk Duck Awards event that I run. So I gave, detailed instructions on how to do it and how to send me the pictures that have to be created and all of that. Because the queen of the awards is Nicaea. She runs everything else, and yeah, that's why I only made a post on that. Yeah.
So for your event, it's people who are showing up to the awards ceremony and on the red carpet, but so that's in the abstract. That's what this thing is. In actuality, you've got to do a picture of your character without any background, so you, Tancerine, can put them into the image on the red carpet. And so these people would be like audience members or people who are possibly being nominated. We don't know yet.
Yeah. So think like the red carpet in the Oscars, where you have all kinds of actors going and movie people going in to attend, and not everyone is getting nominated. Not everyone is nominated for the awards, but they still go. So the idea is that you choose characters from your comic as representatives, if you like, to go attend the Drunk Duck Awards, and you send in basically 2 sets of images. You pick up to 2 characters. You can have 1 character or 2 characters that are going, and you send in a transparent image of them in their usual attire, however they're usually dressed in your comic. So that is supposed to be the morning party. So they attend like a morning pre-party where everyone gets together casually, and they then stand for a group photo, which is the first wallpaper that I make of all the characters together in a morning party background. And they stand all together, and it is that year's Drunk Duck Awards wallpaper with the characters as they are supposed to be recognizable for the comics. And then
do these things, they go into like a specialized comic? Do they go into the awards comic, or do they go into one that you create?
They go into the award comic because they are the first things that you see when everything is all said and done and we're going to present the awards. Before that, we have the red carpet because, the event is starting, so everyone's starting to come in a sense.
Yeah.
So what happens is the casual image you post in the special forum for the red carpet when you make it. And then I will take it from there and use it for the group photo sort of wallpaper. But the second set is those same characters. They cannot be different characters. Those same characters dressed to the nines, formal attire, Oscar level attire, gowns, tuxedos, you name it, whatever. Something that is considered super posh and super formal for your character. It can be anything. And if you go to past red carpet events, people have been very creative with the fashion choices for their characters. So this you keep secret and you send it to me at my email because this will be revealed in the Drunk Duck Awards comic as the characters come in the red carpet and they appear in their formal dress. Then when everything is said and done, just before the actual awards begin, we have the group photo of the formal dress. And that's the conclusion of the red carpet event.
You do this, if you're going to submit your character to be part of the red carpet event, you'll also do the formal one, even if you're not nominated. You just do that as a...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can do it whether you are or aren't nominated.
Okay, that makes sense. So the awards are a community event that everyone participates, well, not everyone, that a whole bunch of people participate in. So it's a good community event. Everyone gets together, and this is an attendant community thing. It's all part of the social community stuff that's happening with the awards. The creators coming together to be part of a thing. So it's just another thing you can be part of to create art, so people can enjoy it.
Yeah, and consider that aside the attention that you will get by posting at the forum with your casual image, the formal image is going to be presented twice. One in the dedicated comic page where your characters will be coming in, walking the red carpet, and there will be a link to your comic, and there is also going to be a commentary by the red carpet presenter. So it's going to be a little bit theatrical, like, and now we see the stars of so-and-so comic that are coming, and depending on how you have presented your characters, I will create a presentation that fits the image that you have given. So you get another chance to showcase your comic for a day, because those updates happen daily when the event is running. And I think it's worth it and it's fun. I mean, it's fun for everyone except me when I make the collage.
Yeah, it can be a lot of work. So we've got to really sort of backtrack a bit and say, okay, so the Drunk Duck Awards, in case you didn't know, the awards are something that happens most years. They're awards for the comics on Drunk Duck, because we're a comic hosting site, so that's what we like to celebrate comics on our site, and they're for all the different kind of things that these comics specialize in, like the best gag strip, best drama, best character, whatever.
We have genre awards, style awards, and the big ones like the overall, like best story comic, best overall comic, and all of that.
So yeah, there's all different things, and for the awards, you can't nominate yourself. You have to campaign to get nominated by creating a for your consideration page, which can help you, or just hoping that your readers or asking your readers to nominate you.
Yeah.
Which is legitimate to do, I think. You could write that in your comments saying, please not consider nominating me for a Drunk Duck Award. This is where you
Absolutely. Actually, we encourage it. We encourage that. When the voting opens, that means that this is the chance that your readers have to nominate you for an award in the Drunk Duck Awards. And then we have the nominees announced when the voting closes and Nicaea makes all the tallying. We announce the nominees. And then the judging happens. I forgot to say that in the video. Sorry, guys. But yes, then the judging happens. So the judges have to read through the nominated comics, having in mind the nature of the award that they are being nominated for, and then choose which one gets it. And you can also be a judge. We always need judges. So by all means, participate as a judge. And you also get credit in the end as a judge.
Credit, yeah. But are these awards only open to comics that are hosted on Drunk Duck? Or could...
Yes.
Okay, so you couldn't like have an external comic somewhere else and want to get in on the awards?
No, those are the Drunk Duck Awards. So that means it's for comics hosted on Drunk Duck. If it is mirrored on Drunk Duck, it is eligible.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. That could be like the foreign language awards, in the Oscars.
That's an idea, but when that will happen? When we have enough judges for all categories, then we will add one.
And,
we're always looking for that, guys.
We don't televise the technical awards. I'm joking.
So, what happens after that? Again, I apologize for my dogs if you can hear them. So what happens after that? The judges make a judgment, and Nicaea knows who has won, each award. So what happens after that is that people come in to create presentation pages for this award. So these people volunteer to be the ones that present the award, and that the presentation of the award is a comic page where the nominees are presented, and in the end of the page or a couple of pages, at the very last bit, Nicaea will add who the winner is, because not even the presenter knows who the winner is. It is a super, super well-guarded secret. The judges never tell. And I can guarantee that they never tell, because for all these years that I have been a judge, I was never told whether I have won an award or not.
Well, that's really good. For some reason, I always have to be reminded of this stuff. I can never wrap my frickin' head around this. I'm so glad we've got you and Nicaea and other people, working and judging this stuff, because I just no ability to comprehend it at all.
It's what, once you do it a couple of times, it's a thing that happens. And so then when the pages of the presentation are in, it is time for the event to begin. And that's when we get first the red carpet event. The presentation pages get uploaded. Everyone finally finds out who won the award. And then we have like the wrapping up of the awards, which happens in a relatively casual manner. In whoever wants creates a page that is the accept of the winners, creates the acceptance speech page. So they have this page where the characters of the winning comic come up to accept the award, and that can be like very humorous, or it can have like a small gag or whatever. I mean, depends. So there's that. And there are people also that make like concession pages that were nominated but didn't win, and those are also extremely fun when the characters are shown, taking the news that they didn't win and basically wanting to slaughter the judges mostly.
Well, one of the things about awards that people often forget about, people are often very focused on winning. But the thing about awards is getting your name out there, because awards help to do that. Just being nominated for an award helps you get your name out there. And because there's a lot of community looking at the Drunk Duck Awards, it helps you, even if you're just putting your page for your consideration, or putting making a comic page for the red carpet events, the morning and then the evening. Every time you do that, there's a link back to you on those pages. So it all helps raise your profile. You don't even have to be nominated for an award, but you can still get like links to you, can still get people's eyes on you, and it gives you a chance to sort of show what you can do by doing those pages. And then say if you do get nominated for award, and then you do a comic page for the nomination, or whatever it is, or like even for like the acceptance speech, or the like Tance was saying, like your concession speech because you didn't win. Like doing that's a great idea, because then there's even more chance to get your name out there. So you haven't won an award, but even though you haven't won, you're still getting your name out there, and you're still having more people look at your work as well. So it's just win-win.
and if you don't win, you get bragging rights, and you get the winners get a banner, winner of this award for 2022, and the nominees get another banner that says nominated for this award 2022. So getting nominated is a win in and of itself, and but as Jose said, getting nominated and winning is not the begin all and end all. The idea is for the community to get exposure to more comics, new comics, remember older comics perhaps that update. Oh, and that reminds me, to be eligible, your comic has to have updated at least once. I think, I don't know, I mean, Nicia has put the requirement, but I don't remember exactly, but I think in the last 3 months or the last 6 months, you have to at least have uploaded one page relatively recently to be eligible. And the reasoning behind this is that we want people to get to know active comics that update, even if they update sporadically, but they do update though. So yeah, and I'm saying all of this about that it's not about getting nominated or winning, as a person that has been through all these positions. I have always been creating for your consideration pages ever since I recall being a member and having like a chance to participate in the awards. I like for years, I don't know how many years, but for the longest time I didn't even get nominated.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even get nominated. And then I started getting nominated, but I never won. And thankfully, these last years, and I don't want to jinx it, I did win a few awards. So what I'm trying to say is that not winning, not being nominated, didn't dissuade me from participating. First of all, because it was very fun. Second of all, because I did get more readers every single time. And also because I got to know new comics that I really love and still follow.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. And do participate as judges. It's an excellent way to get to know new people as well, because you have to talk with the other judges. It is always a party. It's not just one judge. We are a bench in everyone. I mean, and you have to talk with the other judges, and the verdict has to be unanimous. So yeah.
Yeah, that's important.
More or less unanimous, but mostly unanimous. I mean, if we don't reach an agreement, we don't have a winner yet. So.
Yeah, your hung jury, so to speak.
Hung jury.
I think there was one time, I don't remember when, that literally the judges couldn't decide between two comics, and they both won first award. They both won the award. Like they shared it. So yeah, that happened once, but it happened.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't remember when though.
Both judges got paid off, and
yes, exactly.
They weren't going to budge.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't happen.
Like we have lobbies, okay? We have to be loyal to our lobbies.
All those fruit baskets and Ferraris you guys get.
Yeah, and you know the nice Rolexes and stuff. Where do you think we get it from? So.
Oh,
yeah. Ultimately, it is a celebration of webcomics, and beyond that, a celebration of the Drunk Duck community. As far as I know, we are the only community that has awards and celebrates, webcomics in its pluralism of the medium and all the wide range of excellent webcomics that you can encounter on this platform.
Would be an interesting idea to open it up to non-Drunk Duck webcomics in the future, though. You know, you're saying like we would need more judges to do that, but yeah, it would be an interesting idea because then it would be like an awards
for
webcomics in general, you know, like that would be interesting.
Participate, guys. If we have a lot of judges, then that can happen. Usually what happens is that we have few judges, relatively few judges, and each panel, not the same panel, but each person that has volunteered to judge has to participate in 3, 4, or even 5 different panels. So that's a lot of web comics to go through and read.
Yeah.
Imagine if we also had to read comics from abroad, from beyond the duck. Yeah, it would be a bit chaotic. So.
Well, you need those in separate categories. So yeah, I'm not proposing that you should do it. I'm not saying that you should. I'm saying it would be a good idea in the future, kind of thing. I don't know what I'm saying.
Bottom line, guys, the more you participate, the more lush and luxurious and wider range the awards can cover. So
yes, I'm going to do it. I haven't really participated in the awards much myself over the years, though. I think Pinky TA got nominated once or twice in the past. I can't really remember. The only awards I've got on my profile are just ones for me, which is weird. They're awards for me as a community member, but not awards for my comic, which is strange. So, that's because there's not only awards for I don't know if it's included in this year, but in the past we've had awards for members of the site.
Yeah.
Like
what was that? I didn't catch it.
I don't know whether we have it this year, but in the past we've had awards for members of the site. So I've got 5 different ones on my thing. Like in 2011 I was a finalist for the award for most awesome admin or moderator, and I didn't win. That would
Okay.
the school monkey.
There is also, and this is another thing I like. I mean, we haven't really gone into what the awards are available to be won. But beyond the standard awards, there is always a forum, and this is open only to the judges. So this is more incentive for you guys to become judges. Come join us. Like, we don't have cookies necessarily, but we do have the create your own award category, and that means that every judge suggests a weird award to exist for this particular award, like the year year awards. Sorry, forgot how to talk. So it could be best, best in stress, or most overworked webcomic, or I don't know, whatever, anyone and anything. And then everyone sees all these suggestions, and the one that gets the biggest vote among the judges from all the suggestions is the award of the year, the pick your own award category.
Right.
And then we also nominate people and pick one, and that's a surprise award. You don't get to know what it is until it is presented and awarded. So yeah.
Well, I got an award for in 2020 for best DD Emperor. Oh shit.
Yes.
So obviously that wasn't out for anyone else. That was always just gonna be me.
Yes, because you are the only
Oh dear.
emperor, so you are the best emperor.
Oh yeah, so that was my my North Korean award.
Yeah, Kim Jong-un award.
Oh dear. So I can pin all those medals to my chest and walk around proudly.
Yeah, only on your chest. They have to be on your pant legs as well, and
my shoes.
Everything else. Yes.
Oh dear. Yeah. So, and we also have there's a kind of a voting thing for who gets to design the look of the trophies as well.
Oh, that's right.
So that has to be done. There's all kinds of processes. Oh, poor old Tom.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot all about it. I haven't looked at it yet about how that's working, the designing what the Drunk Duck Award looks like. But yeah, that's true. That's a part of the process too.
It's interesting. Often the awards are have been some surprising models for the trophies that have been submitted over the years. And so it's always interesting to see them.
That's another pre-event, if you like. Even before the red carpet, you get to submit designs for the award shape. Like instead of an Oscar man, you have a duck, usually, in various stylizations. It's supposed to look like an award. And you submit different designs, and the popular vote. Sorry, the dogs are distracting me. 1 second.
Sounds like wild ducks fighting in the background. Drunk ducks.
Yeah. So the one that gets like the most votes from everyone, because this is posted in the forum, is the winning design, if you like, for what the actual award is going to look like, that is being supposedly given to the characters. The other designs are used within the event in different spots. So everything gets used. It's just that we pick the one that people like the most to be the way that the award looks for the particular year.
And I am a terrible traditionalist. I like the ones that look more like trophies than they do abstract kind of awards. Like simple trophies, golden or whatever, you know? But they can take any form.
Yeah, I mean, if you...
someone designed one once. I don't know if it won or if it became the official look of the awards that year, but it was just an egg kind of in a cup, I think. Very funny. And I like that design. Like I said, I don't remember if we actually used it. It was one of the submissions, though.
That was a pretty clever one, actually. I like that one.
Very clever, yeah.
Egg cup.
I like the DD Awards a lot. Since I've been on the site, I've participated every year, I think, in some way at least. And yeah, it's great. There's lots of things to do. I should give a shout out because I like what Tans. I think you just started doing it last time with the pictures, the red carpet. Like with you draw your characters. Like we went into detail on that, I think, on the video. Did we do it here too?
Yeah, I think this is the third year that we're having a red carpet.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. I just thought I love the awards myself. I always did since the beginning. Like the first time I participated, I had an amazing experience. Even though, like I said, I didn't even get nominated for anything. So, but I still loved it. And I wanted to contribute something and make it even more like triumphant. Like this is the Ducks peak moment of showcasing the amazing talent that we have here. And that's why I do it. And I really like it. And the only time I don't like doing the red carpet is when I'm making the composite group shot. And I want every image to have its spot and draw the eye, in a sense. Like you can look at this picture for a while and discover the different characters and find them and see enough of them that they are showcased, in a sense. But that is like a puzzle after a while, because usually, thankfully, I'm really glad for that, I get a lot. So I have to fit everyone. So yeah, that's the only time, like when it's starting to get crowded and I'm like, okay, shift this guy here and then shift that guy there. Oh my God, they are just overlapping a little bit too much. And now I have to find a way to make them not overlap. And that's the only low point in the whole thing.
You mentioned that before, how much work it was. And what I was actually leading up to talking about this is I love those group shots so much. Like, it's my favorite thing. I'm like, I wish Tans could do that like every month. Have like these group shots of all the characters that people submit. You put them all together. Obviously, you know what that means in group shots, and I love that stuff in Marvel comics. You know, like big posters with all the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's so awesome, and
Thank you so
really
much. I really enjoyed doing it, but I could do it every month for a price.
I don't know if people would submit every month, but I know I would. But yeah, that'd be fun work.
Yeah, that would be a lot of work, I think, for anyone. I mean, even for those that want to participate, because you have to think how you want to set up your characters, and usually, like there are some specifications in the sense that they have to look like they are facing a camera in some way, because supposedly they have just all been called in to stand to get a group shot, so you cannot have any kind of stance or angle. They all have to be more or less specific angles.
Right.
Forward facing, standing around in a sense. But even that leaves a lot of room for originality. I mean, if you see these wallpapers that I made the past 2 years, not a single character is standing in the same way, and that's awesome, I think. So.
Oh yeah, neat.
It's very difficult to do collages. I do them a lot for the fashion spotlight on the Fridays, and it can be a real nightmare arranging things and images you like and blocking out other ones and hiding them. It's a real nightmare.
Man. Especially when you have pre-existing things, and like I know they've been set up so they're all looking into the camera. At least that helps a bit, probably. But also, you're stuck with what you have. You have to arrange them to make it look like so. Everyone, like Tan said, like everyone kind of gets there, can somewhat draw the eye, and they all get enough.
Yeah.
Space, I guess, or attention.
And the idea is like to also respect the characters in the sense that usually they have a personality to themselves that you can see even at this shot. So I want to give room for this personality to breathe a little bit, even though they are going to be in a very crowded shot. So for example, I'm not going to have a giant lady orc be tiny. She's going to be huge, as she's supposed to be. Or if like a couple of characters are fighting a little bit for the spotlight, I will have to make sure that this shows. So they may be like on the side, trying to get into the camera a little more, shouldering their way through. And I will try to find a character that is frowning a little bit to make it look like they are looking at the other guys causing a commotion and not approving, or something like that. I try to sort of compose it in a way that feels a little bit organic. Like these characters can see and feel each other in a sense. That's why I make a very specific requirement for how these things are to be drawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. Because,
it's great, man. Yeah.
If you're going to do that kind of thing and you just get random art, it's very, very hard to structure it in the right way, to repurpose it. As you were saying, Baines, you've got stuff done by someone else. You can't redraw it.
Yeah.
You're stuck with what you've got. Even if you could, like I've had art like this sent to me by other people, and I've gone, oh bugger, I'll just redraw this, and it takes freaking forever to edit it and not make it look like it's edited, and it's just too much work. It's no point like giving yourself 2 hours work to do some minor change. Just hand it back to the person and get them to do it again.
Well, I never intervene or tell the person, you know what, redraw this in this way, or give them this expression or something like that. The only thing I will ever ask is, if I have had some people at times send me the image with a background or non-transparent, and yeah, I send that back and say, please send it to me transparent, because I made the mistake the first time I did this, to try and make the image transparent myself, and that made my work like 3 times take 3 times longer to finish. So I'm not going to do that again. If they forget, that's fine. I will just remind them, please do the transparency, like remove the background, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That makes it.
You talk like a couple dozen characters, right? It's been each year, probably.
Yeah. I never counted, now that you mention it, but easily a couple dozen.
Well, they all look great in the selfies together. Not selfies, in the group photo together.
They do. That looks so good.
Yeah.
Look at them all the time still.
Well, selfies are more of a thing, like they're an established thing. Maybe people could draw their characters doing selfies.
No, don't do that, please. Don't. Because selfies are a completely different beast. And I know that because usually when I want to say, when I want the awards, I just created selfies, like Oscar selfies of the characters of Without Moonlight, and said thank you for these awards. They are all sorts of inappropriate angles for group shots.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's.
You can do it for one thing we didn't mention. Not very many people do it, I don't think, but you can submit behind the scenes, backstage photos.
Yeah.
The end of the awards comic. Not very many people do them. You see a couple usually. I think every time we do it.
You could draw the characters getting dressed. Or being
dressed.
Yeah. I think the 2020 awards with the COVID, we had a lot of people supposedly getting ready to sign in remotely to the awards, and then realizing that they don't need to, or things like that. That was fun. So there was that.
Yeah.
Oh man, you could have characters even wearing masks and stuff like that. All sorts.
Yeah.
I like the idea of characters wearing out of clothes that. I mean, you're saying you should wear fancy black tie clothes for the evening red carpet event for that are appropriate to your comic, but you could also wear stuff that wasn't appropriate to your comic. Say your comic's like a fantasy thing or whatever, and your characters show up as if they were actors dressed in modern normal black tie clothes. It's such a cool
absolutely.
Contrast.
Yeah,
you do whatever you want, as long as it is obviously fancy, like super formal, and then it's up to you. You do you. I usually use the awards as an excuse to finally draw some really posh formal 1940s attires, because I never get to do it on Without Moonlight, because nobody ever goes to a ball there. So usually I stick to the 40s theme, like they prepare themselves in their time zone, and then they zap themselves to the dimension where the awards happen, and they have their little party and stuff. But maybe this year I will just pick formal modern attires instead.
Yeah.
I haven't even considered who will go this time, because usually I have Martha and Basil, but I have done that too often, so maybe now I will just change it.
Fotis has to go to carry the awards
Yeah, Fotis has to be there because
presentation.
he's the super main character. Like he's the main character. But
One of the Nazi characters show up.
I'm seriously considering it, to be honest, to have at least Arthur maybe, or
Yeah.
Arthur and maybe Rabban, or Arthur and Bomb, that they hate each other viciously, or they used to anyway. So I could have that. I don't know. I'm still thinking about what the thing is, that if I pick only guys, I don't have much room to play with, the fashion.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, because men's fashion, formal wear, hasn't changed very much in the last 120 years or so. It's just gotten cheaper and crappier. And I don't say that as an old curmudgeon who likes old-fashioned... Well, I probably do say that as an old curmudgeon who likes old-fashioned stuff, but it really is just not as stylish as it used to be. There's one of the fashions is people in suits that are too tight for them, with trousers that are too short, jackets that don't fit, and I think, how is that stylish? You look like a sack of shit in that suit.
Yeah.
Take it off and put on something that fits you. You idiot.
Yeah. And I could consider like going for the edgy, disruptive, innovative stuff, like have a suit that is also a dress or something like that. But
oh yeah,
honestly, not a single of my characters, would be caught dead wearing something like that. A dress maybe, a suit dress, no.
They're too conservative and
I mean,
conventional. I would say, not conservative. They're too conventional.
Yeah, but it's not just that they're too conventional. I mean, I can see a couple of my characters liking the idea of going with something edgier than a suit. Strictly speaking for the guys now. But I cannot picture them considering going with something completely dissonant to what they are used to.
Disruptive. I can imagine the entire cast of Chatterbox and Typical Strange wearing suit dresses matching.
Oh yeah. I mean, with Chatterbox, they'll be attending this year, so I obviously have two leads. I mean, obviously to me, I have two leads for that comic, so I know it'll be them. Mm-hmm. Typical Strange, I liked it with TK and Penelope showing up, so I can't think of a combination that looks better than them. So I'll probably do the same thing, maybe.
Do it again.
Yeah, I'll do it again, yeah.
That also reminds me, if you have like more than one comic, go ahead and submit
multiples. Yeah.
It's not per creator, it's per comic. So if you have like 2 comics, 3 comics, and you want to send in, red carpet photos for all of them.
If I have time, I want to do Bottomless Waitress and Pinky TA and have, I don't know, maybe Ace and Pinky or CC or whatever. And from Bottomless Waitress, I don't know. It could be Francis showing up. Francis and Nikki. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay.
That works.
Oh,
that totally works. Yeah.
I mean,
edges out the other 2 leads.
Yeah, and not just because Nikki has a crush on Francis, but because it's a comical factor as well, because Nikki's a giant and Francis is a little tiny lady, so there's a good comical contrast there. I like that.
Yeah, and the other thing I would like to ask is, keep it in terms of suitable for work. What do I mean though? What do I mean by this? You can make it racy if you like, in sense like very saucy, very sexy and stuff. just keep the nipples covered. That's the only thing we need.
Yes. Keep the
Yeah.
nipples, and bottoms are to be, like worn. Or if your character is bottomless, something covering, I don't know.
The crevasse. The crevasse has to be covered.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frances has to have her apron on in her in-comic version. Yeah.
I was thinking I would put her in a tuxedo, and I would put Nikki in a dress. I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
We'd see
That would be
what-
like, that's also another interesting thing. Like, what would your characters wear if they were to dress up for an event like this? That's another interesting little thing. Like, if you want to keep your characters in character, or if you want to consider that they are the actors going in, what are the actors like? Are they like the characters they
Yeah, I
impersonate?
like that. I love that idea. Thinking of them as actors. What would they wear if they had their own choice as a human being and not as the character? What would they wear?
The only problem that I have with this for my characters is that if they go in as actors, Fotis will not have his scars or anything, so he will not be as recognizable.
Have different haircut, you have the shaved sides of the
it's
heads.
so completely different. Yeah,
I'd love that
would
idea.
be a very. Remember, we used to have an excellent other event that happened, like a communal comic called Off Hours.
Yeah.
And I think the one that was running it was Due East, if you recall.
Yeah.
And all the characters from different comics were now, they're actors, and they came from very smashing, super popular shows, and they were off hours. They were not shooting. They were off character. And we got to see their actors and what they were like and stuff like that. And that was super fun. I would love to participate in something like that if we can revive it. So
Yeah. It's a great community thing. But yeah, back to the awards. I love the idea of characters showing up as their actor's self and how they would change. I mean, how would typical Strange change if they showed up as actors, Baines?
Oh boy, it's a good question. I mean, it doesn't look like anything in the last awards because TK and Penelope were just wearing, he was wearing a really garish, bright orange suit. She was in a dress. So to me, mentally, I'm very comfortable, and I really enjoy that idea that we're watching their lives in the comic, but they're just acting. But they're kind of the same it's like The Simpsons when they do that kind of stuff. When they step out, they're kind of the same people, but it's also a show that they're doing. So I haven't thought about changing their character really. It's a neat idea.
Yeah, I would say
Shakespearean.
I would say that if we want that, and I could put it to like a community vote, we could have a third set where I would prefer to consider it like when you draw your formal wear, consider them as your characters going to the show rather than their actors, so that you can keep them recognizable. But if you like the idea of the actors, we could have a third set and group photo that are just the actors of ours, like the after party. And that could be shown after everything is said and done, the awards are given, the speeches are done, and everything else. Just before the credits, we could have that as the after party, because usually these things have after parties, so we could have that as well. And if we like that, I can add it.
They could each carry a little Polaroid of what they look like in their costume and as the character, so they can still be recognizable.
Yeah.
So not just a name saying, this is Pinky, but actually this is this is me. This is what I look like. That kind of thing.
Yeah, that sort of thing. I would need to think how to arrange it, because it still needs to be a group shot, I think, because otherwise some people will be overlapped by others in ways that, they will not be shown as well. So it still is going to be a group photo, and I could just have like a sort of a digital Google tag thing where we have the little image of who is who pointing down over everyone or something like that.
Maybe you could show them in exactly the same positions from the group shot of them as they are in the formal group shot and the informal actor group shot. They'd just be in the same positions. So then
I wouldn't want to do that, because unless I ask people to make them in the exact same stance, then I might not be able to compose a working group photo if I am bound to keep them in the same position. So, or the other thing I could do is just number them, and then in the comments say who is who, and people can just try to guess and then see if they guessed correctly who is who.
That's
I
a good
don't.
idea.
I think I will love that.
That's a good idea.
As the after party event, I will. This is
would be really fun.
Event.
Yeah.
And everyone gets a chance to do their informal actor version of their character. Interesting. Pinky would show up without a wig on of the bald head.
and Fotis would have like a super modern haircut. Yeah,
he'd have the sides of his head shaved and a little mustache.
Totally, that's exactly. No, but if I keep him like, supposedly this is like a Greek series because they speak Greek, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
Everything is mostly in blue font. So I would make him like a total pop, Greek pop icon sort of thing. Like how the cool kids are supposed to be in 2021 in Greece. So make him like that. I don't know, maybe. I mean, I don't know, guys. If you like that, and please leave a comment when you hear this and tell me do it. And then I'll do it.
I love it. Yeah, it's especially fun, the idea of making the actor of the character totally different from the the comic version of the character. That is such the idea tickles me, because a lot of real life actors will deliberately make themselves look very different from the characters they play in the TV shows and the movies, just as a way of preventing typecasting and or being recognized or whatever. So it's a common thing in reality. You see these fantastic fun actor on the TV or on the movies, and then he comes out in these thick-rimmed, black, thick-rimmed glasses with big, thick black rims. So many actors do that. Such wankers that do that. The extra thick rims, that means, oh, I'm a serious actor. Look at my high turtleneck jumper and my really thick rims on these glasses. Absolute wankers. Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to do the stereotypical thing.
Yeah. Like Father Yannis, if I put him like as his actor, he would probably be like in a Havana shirt or like in a black t-shirt and something like that, like completely distant from the image of a priest.
Yeah, big medallion on his chest, his shirt.
Yeah, long
waist.
hair, long hair.
A girl on each arm.
Probably. Because although he doesn't look it in the comic, he actually is, like, when he was younger, he used to be a pretty handsome guy. The fact that he got into being a priest is a different story and how he got there. So, the actor is supposed to be at least well formed in the face. And probably, like, I would make him really buff underneath, because you cannot really see what is under.
Yeah, he's got this like gym toned body for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's buffing up for his next role, as
Exactly.
He's going to be Zeus in another movie or something.
Exactly. And he's very thankful that they could hide everything under the robes and still be this scrawny guy.
So what about TK? What would his? Baines, you're saying he would be very much like his actual character, but if he wasn't, what would he look? What would he be like?
Yeah, I could see doing a story like this, but I don't know that they would be all that different. But I can imagine a couple of gags for sure. Like, you have a clean-shaven character who we often see characters in shows very well groomed and very clean-shaven. Then you see them in an interview and they're very shaggy and they've got like all this stubble, and they're wearing these crazy like LA clothes or something like that. Already looks pretty clowny. So maybe I give him a beard and grow his hair out a little bit.
Like, I would
give him a little dog. He'd be holding a tiny dog.
Yes, there we are.
That's what I was thinking. I would get all the guys that play the Nazis or the collaborators and stuff, and I would just, especially like Eichel, who is supposed to be like this creepy, rapey, war criminal sort of character, and I would portray him in the most wholesome, kind smile, kind eyes, possibly having like a couple of stray dogs he rescued with him and stuff like that, and be like super gentle and unassuming.
Like that guy who played the Nazi in Bastards. That film?
Oh yeah.
Hey?
The guy who played Hans Landa.
Yeah, there we are.
Yeah.
Him. He's a super friendly, lovely fellow. Yeah. That sort of thing.
Yeah. And I would make Bomb like super sophisticated Oxfordian type with an attitude, because I don't think that he can set the attitude. I think that is not totally acting. But like a super, yes, okay, I will have you know that I have like 3 degrees and I went into acting because I just felt artistic or something like that.
Oh, I love this idea. This idea is getting more fun by the minute. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Should be
have them all being lovies as they are in the British acting community. Oh, darling, I saw your performance in Hamlet. And the rep the other day. I was so surprised. That was marvelous.
And Bomb would be like openly gay as well, and very much an active LGBTQ activist.
So he's got to have a little rainbow like brooch or something.
Yeah. And
Bomb shows up with TK. They're both gay friends.
Yes.
They've got their handbag dogs.
I don't think he would be stereotypically gay, just openly gay, out of the closet, and very much like an advocate for human rights in general, especially LGBTQ, and all of that. So I could just see him be that and play the Nazi in the series.
That would be
super
fun.
well. So.
Delightful. Well, I'm loving these ideas, and it's inspiring me to create some art for it. We'll see how we go, because I'm notoriously slow at everything, but I'll try and shed that. try, and everybody should try and share it. Everybody should try and get in on these damn awards things because it helps you promote your work. We have people saying, oh, it's hard to get visible on Drunk Dark, or there's no way to, for upward mobility. Well, networking is the way. That's
and also, participate in the events, and you will be showcased by default, like it's unavoidable.
Yeah. I've often gotten at least some new readers from participating in the awards,
Exactly. You can't lose. They're not going to look at your artwork and think, oh, God, I've been reading this comic for 5 years now, and I'm never going to read another page because of this stupid view consideration thing. Sell out. How can they do that? Yeah.
On the contrary.
So it's never going to, it's not going to be a bad thing. It's only going to be a help to you and extra work. So there you go.
Yeah, but fun extra work. And the biggest thing, it's a celebration of webcomics just for the sake of webcomics. There is no commercial motivation behind this. This is simply because we love webcomics. That's all there is to it. And that's why this event is so special. So,
yeah. Exactly. Oh, well. We should finish up now and see you in the awards, people.
See you in the awards.
All right.
Rock on.
Rock on. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.